Hello, friends! Happy Labor Day if you celebrate it. We're going to be talking about the Amazon All or Nothing documentary episodes 4 through 6. So if you haven't watched those, don't watch this video. Go watch those, come back to it. There's a lot to talk about. This is getting into the nitty gritty stuff, getting into the terrible stuff. So let's just hop into it. Okay, so we start with the FA Cup dream and the holiday spirit going around the club. Jose's referencing the FA Cup. It's a competition where teams of all sizes just go all out for one game because it's a knockout competition, and some teams are better suited to that than other teams. And even in a team like the Championship, they know it's just one game, and they know if they can just conjure up whatever the best team is and put up a good fight, they can challenge a Premier League team if they're on an off day. So, yeah, you do have to be alert for the FA Cup. And then it switches to Daniel Levy being like, all I want for Christmas is a trophy and top four. And it's like, ambitious, Daniel. But, obviously that didn't happen. But as we'll get to in these next few episodes, there's a reason why that didn't happen. It is kind of shocking to me to relive all of this. It's absolutely wild. But yeah, Levy does kind of have like a fans-outsider view of things running at the club. He's just like, oh, how are things going with the squad, Jose? Are they going well? I don't mean like a fan or outsider view, like he knows nothing about the inside of a club. I mean it like he doesn't really understand the intricacies of like squad management and like who's fit and the tactics and all that. He's just like, why aren't we winning? And so, yeah, I understand that from Daniel. Yeah, the Christmas period, just as a thing for players, must be so grueling. I don't even know what you can equate it to, because really, they're all just there to like serve us. The whole reason that they don't have any days off, the whole reason that they're there doing like matches upon matches, 2 days from each other and stuff like that, is for us. It's their service to us. It's like, to a lesser extent, kind of like military service. You're just there with a bunch of lads, can't do anything, can't celebrate with your family, can't go home to your family. It's just all the lads there trying to cheer each other up, keep that festive attitude, but also being like, we have a job to do and we have a service that we provide to people and we need to give it. But nonetheless, that's hard. It's hard, and I can't really say like just how hard it is. I mean, Son being out, another complication. I forgot about that. Like, obviously, the red card and then subsequently the suspension. But just thinking about that from a tactical point of view, you have to replace Son, probably the second best player in the team just as a whole. And when you do tactics, everyone's used to Son being there and Son doing the thing that Son does. And so when you take him out of the team, you can't just say, okay, Lucas goes there and does the things that Son does. It's not as simple as that. You can try, but they don't have the same skill set. They have a similar skill set, but it's not going to be the same, and you need to adapt. And Lucas is not as good as Son. I think we can all come to that conclusion. Oh, and then Cess even tried to play there, yeah. I forgot how bad the fullback problem, though. Actually, Cess couldn't play there because Danny Rose, Ben Davies, and then Dennis Sirkin was not on the picture at this time, so just Cess as a left back, which, he was just thrown into. And on top of that, Kyle Walker-Peters was also out, so the only fit right back we had for much of the year was just Serge Aurier. Yeah, but it was nice to see Jose being like, okay, so we have all these players out, and we know we don't have the funds to just pick and choose by people. So who are the kids we can call up? And then it kind of shows it kind of alludes to Harvey White getting a shout later on. I don't think he's one of the ones they're referencing though. But it was nice to see Harvey White and Kiana Tete. But it was really nice to see them, and that's one of my favorite parts of just the whole footballing system and why I'm such a big fan of it. It's insane to me that people like Harvey have been there that long. People like Skip, people like, I mean, Troy's only been there a few years, I'm pretty sure. But people like Jaffet too, just it's lovely to see that kind of stuff. And Harvey was just kind of like shy and reserved about it, but it was just nice to see. On Jaffet, what a guy. I mean, just like there's so many instances in this episode where I'm just like, what a pure footballer. Like what a pure guy. He's just like there to play the game, have fun, and he's always smiling. It just warms me up seeing his face most of the time. I also love how funny he thinks it is. Like, I got scouted by Chelsea first. Did you know that? Yeah, it is just a funny moment. He always puts a smile on my face. But yeah, on the whole youth coaching system, it kind of explains why it's so important to have a designated style and imprint of the first team on your youth teams, and have the coaching, the training, the tactics all be kind of in the same realm, so that when they are called up to the first team, they're not like completely oblivious to how they're going to play or how they're going to train. That being said, I don't think anything can prepare you for the step up in training that is the first team. It just seems ludicrous. I mean, obviously I don't know firsthand, but I mean, the way Jaffet was describing it, it's just like these guys have been doing this for years and years and years, and they make it look so easy, but it's just a huge step up in many, many ways. Yeah, I thought the surge moment exemplified that kind of togetherness that the festive period has and what you kind of have to do. Again, reiterating, it's just a bunch of lads. It's just a bunch of lads in a small area just being like celebrating the best they can, knowing they can't see their families, their wives, their sons, their daughters. It's hard. But it's nice to see them talking about each other in a nice way, and Toby and Sess acknowledging like these guys are our family too, and you know we see them more than our family, and it would be nice if they had if they had like little presents or something they gave each other or whatever. The whole Jose's dog, right? That just wrecks me. As like a dog owner, it's like, and having had a dog that's died, it's so hard. It's really, really hard. Even when you have no obligations, it's hard to deal with that. But Jose just had to come in and be like, this is my job. I'm paid to do this. I'm doing a service to this team, and I'm on the contract, so I have to come in and do the coaching. But that's probably the last thing he wants to do in that moment. Yeah, just the way he speaks about it. My dog died and I'm fucked. Of course he fucking dies on the fucking 24th. Of course, whatever. It's like, yeah, of course. Stuff like that has to happen. And yeah, the way he described the dog, just like very deliberate. It's a terrier. It's this size, and yeah, you just really feel for him. It's a hard thing. And on that, it must be so tempting to just turn everything off and be like focused on whatever you want to focus on. Like, I want to get back to my family. I want to take care of my dog. I want anything. But they just have to keep their heads down and power through, especially Boxing Day. It's a huge thing because they know all the families around the world are going to be watching and going to the game, and just they want a good result. And yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, again, we get to the Southampton result. I did like how they focused a little bit on how Southampton play, how they try to get a lot of crosses into the box, how they're very direct, and how Jose wants to press high. It's probably the last thing that anyone wants to hear. Press high when you're so tired and it's Christmas and yeah, but that is the tactic he wanted to use. So best best thing to do in that moment. It always feels like when you have a positive result, negative comes just straight after that. You had the Brighton victory, and then Norwich happened, and then Southampton. It's just, yeah, it's hard. And then you see the Kane moment. That's the negative. Like, there were just starting to build up to the positives. Son was going to be coming back. Hugo was going to be coming back. You still had Musa fit. You still had Kane fit. It was like, okay, it looks like we might be able to put some results together here. No. No, no, no. Kane goes, scores a goal, gets counted off, feels his hamstring pop, goes on the sidelines. People are like, okay, well, how long is it going to be? Is it a minor thing? And they initially thought it was a minor thing, and then they're like, oh no, it's not a minor thing. They really foreshadowed that well because the whole episode before that was just the physios and the players and Jose being like, humans are not meant to do this. They are not. Just the physical capabilities of us, we just cannot. And Harry was like figuratively and literally just carrying the team on his back sometimes. Just running all the way back to right back, I remember him doing, just tracking back so much, trying to create things all for himself, scoring, going on a scoring run, just he was trying to do everything and he gave everything, and eventually you just cannot give any more. And we find out his hamstring is just gone. Dele had some insight. He obviously has dealt with a bad hamstring injury before. So he was like, what grade is it? What is going on there? And when the news is revealed to Kane, you can tell he just is kind of in disbelief a little bit, but he takes it well. He just kind of shakes his head. He's like, what can you do? That's just how it is. It's hard to accept, but it's interesting how he acknowledges time is limited as a player and how he feels like this is a lot of time that he's missing. And it is. It really is. And it probably would have hurt his Euro campaign too if things were normal. Yeah, it's hard for athletes, especially with injuries. They wish they could just stop time, I'm sure. Yeah, Hugo, I really like Hugo. It's obvious why he's captain in these episodes. The disbelief he had at the injuries, he's just like, Moose is out too. Oh, for God's sake, like what what's going on? It's just a hard thing to deal with. And physios have such a hard job because they're like just there to help the players. They're just there to diagnose and treat the problem. And when it's a bad problem like Harry's, you never want to be the one to report the news. And I feel sorry for Jeff. I think that was his name. He had to go out to Jose in the field and just be like, here's the deal with Harry. Basically, we thought it was this and we thought it was that. And Jose was just like, how long? How long? I don't care about the injury. How long is he out? 12 weeks. Fucking hell, that's the end of the season. Okay, we go. We just go, we're fucked. But yeah, that's the second time he said that in response to an injury. Yeah, it's a hard thing. And it's kind of, looking back, it's easy to say, wow, I'm surprised we even did as well as we did in that period because, yeah, when Harry Kane goes out, that is huge. And then we go Oh yeah, on that, just when he tells Zhao, funniest moment is the little like the little yelp he does. Absolutely perfect, Zhao. I mean, that's my response as well. 5 first team players out. Cannot understate that. We get to the Liverpool result. Jaffet Tanganga starts at right back, and we got to. I mean, we when that was announced, Jose kind of said it was a tactical thing because Jaffet is fast, and they wanted to double team Mane at points. So that it's cool to see why they used Jaffet, because there were other people fit. Serge would have been the natural right back, and then they could have done the regular 4 at the back. But the 3 at the back did, I think, worked for Liverpool. And it's such a great moment for Jaffet. How he says he just wants to pay his parents' bills and stuff. He's a really sweet kid, and I really like the moment where Son was like, "When are you going to sign your new contract, huh?" And Jaffa was like, I don't know. He's just like brushing it off because that's kind of a big thing, and he seems kind of shy about it. And then Son's just like, why don't you ask that guy over there, Daniel Levy? And Jaffet's like, no way, I don't want to do that. Yeah, but that Liverpool performance from Jaffet solidified himself as a first teamer for many games. And as we'll get on to, it's part of the reason why Danny Rose wanted out. But on Danny Rose, it's really nice to see senior defenders like that and Toby coming out and being like, Jaffet, you did amazing, mate. Like, I don't care about the loss. It's on you. Like, great job today. It's really nice. And it must be amazing to hear from people you've been looking up to. As he said earlier, he views these people as like celebrities and big people, but he can't view them as that. He just has to play his game. Yeah, I'm so happy for Jaffet. I hope to see more of him this year. I hope his back is doing well. Then the last thing on this episode, Middlesbrough. Again, as I referenced before, it's kind of, since it's just a knockout, it is only Middlesbrough, but they are going to field a strong team and fight for everything. And we were already very, very tired of that moment, so it is good to get a victory. But, as I said, as soon as one thing goes right, something goes wrong. And as we'll see in the next episode, things go wrong. So, yeah. But again, great Jaffet performance at right back, I believe. And he had a few really nice runs and an okay cross or two, I remember. But yeah, anyways, that's episode 4's recap. This was a bit longer than usual. If you enjoyed, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Thank you for all your support. Come on, you Spurs.